So Steve Harvey, comedian, did you also know he's in the health drink business? So I got a lot of questions about his LEvate You Vitality Daily Greens health drink, and I wrote a big review of it on supplementclarity.com. Thought this would make a good video for those who don't want to read it because it's actually quite lengthy. So let's go over some of the high points of LEvate You health drink Vitality Greens and see what we can figure out. So I'm just going to scroll down here and give my commentary on some of the things I put together here. So if we look down at just some of the ingredients, so these are just some of the general things that I came across when I looked at all the supplement facts of LEvate You Daily Greens. Again, I didn't purchase it. I just looked at what's on the label and from what I could find on the LEvate You website. So what I would say is all three versions of this product are low in vitamins and minerals, and I said I'm okay with that because this is not a vitamin drink. This is a general whole food green drink. So we're not too concerned about the vitamins and minerals here. Another thing I would point out here is that none of the versions of LEvate You Vitality Greens have any added sugars. That's a plus. I do like that. I do want to point out that all three versions also don't have a lot of fiber either. So this is not a fiber drink. This is a whole food green drink supplement, but you'd think that it would have fiber because if it comes from foods, that's generally par for the course with a lot of these green drinks I see out there. So we're looking at between 1 and 2 grams of fiber per serving of LEvate You Vitality Daily Greens. That's not a lot because the RDA for fiber is roughly 28 to 35 grams a day, roughly about an ounce a day. So we're not getting a lot of fiber if you're going to be drinking this green drink. However, I do want to point out that if you own LEvate Daily Vitality Greens, that there is a typo in the supplement facts label for vitamin A. So when it comes to the tart cherry version and the original versions of LEvate, they're listing vitamin A in milligrams, and that's incorrect. It actually is micrograms. Not really going to affect the dosage of vitamin A that's in these products. However, if you're looking at it and you're wondering what's going on here, it actually is a typo, and the Steve Harvey company actually should address this and change this. It's a minor tweak. I'm sure his company could do this. And then one thing I do want to point out concerns the flavor of LEvate You. It's got some sodium, 280 milligrams of sodium per serving of the chocolate flavor of LEvate You. Now, if you look at the supplement facts label, that only comes to about 12% of the daily value for sodium. We're allowed to have some sodium, and 12% would put it in my book maybe moderate amounts. Generally, anything above 20% is high, and anything 5% or less is low. So if you're looking at your supplement facts label of LEvate You right now, you can see all this information for yourself. However, most Americans eat way too much sodium anyway. So why is it in LEvate You? I'm not quite sure. Is it a preservative? I can't tell you. I didn't delve too deeply into it. I would just point out that this will add to your daily sodium intake. So you want to watch that if you want a low sodium diet for blood pressure and heart and kidney disease problems. Okay, so let me now move on to all the different ingredients in LEvate You Vitality Daily Greens. There's a lot of them, and they break them down into different proprietary blends. And if you go to supplementclarity.com, I will link to the reviews so you can see all this for yourself. I kind of break them all down for the original, the tart cherry, and the chocolate version, all so you can see them side by side. Essentially, they have a lot of the same ingredients. I do want to point a couple things out. So if we look at the greens blend across the board for all of these flavors, the first thing we're seeing is organic wheatgrass and then organic barley grass. So these would make up most of what's in the greens blend. Now, if we scroll down a little bit further and we go to the digestive enzyme and prebiotic blend, again, all of these ingredients you see here amount to about 1.5 grams. Again, not an awful lot, but the first ingredient you see across the board is inulin. Inulin is a fiber, it's a soluble fiber, it's also a prebiotic, so it's going to help feed your healthy gut bacteria. That's a good thing. And then as we travel further down this list, sulfuric 3M, alpha amylase. Again, the amylase, cellulase, lipase, protease, these are digestive enzymes. And then if we scroll down a little bit further, at the very bottom of this list, we see Bacillus subtilis DE111. I did a previous video on this bacteria that I will link to so you can check it out. There is some interesting research on Bacillus subtilis DE111 that it might do some different things. Again, won't go too deep into the woods here. I'll just refer you to other videos so you can check it out for more. I do want to point out, however, that we have this proprietary blend that they're calling the M-Charge blend. It's in all of them. M stands for mitochondria. Mitochondria are essentially fat-burning batteries that are inside of your cells. They help you make energy, ATP energy. You actually even see one of the ingredients actually mentions ATP here. ATP is our ultimate energy molecule. And these ingredients you see here, beetroot juice, LEvate ATP, ancient peat moss and apple polyphenols, fulvic acid, and PQQ are supposed to help your mitochondria work better, so you'll make more energy and you may have more energy during the day. So M-Charge is a marketing word. There doesn't appear to be any official scientific designation that I was able to find for M-Charge. I've never heard it before, so I'm going to call it marketing. Again, the idea here is these ingredients that you see here are supposed to charge up your mitochondria to help you make more energy. There is a little bit of research on this that I did cover a little bit more depth on supplementclarity.com. The LEvate ATP compound actually has a couple of research studies on it that I did see. Fulvic acid comes from soil. I did a video on this. I will link to that as well so you can check it out in my video of shilajit. Shilajit is a good source of fulvic acid. So again, you can learn more about it there. PQQ I sometimes call the new improved version of resveratrol. Resveratrol is it's a nutrient. You can buy it by yourself as well as in other supplements like this. It's an antioxidant. It's supposed to help the mitochondria work better. It's an interesting compound. I don't personally think there's enough evidence yet to say that it's better than resveratrol, although that is how it's being marketed. Again, one thing I will point out that is since PQQ, or Ultra PQQ as we're calling it here, is listed least, it makes up the least of the M-Charge blend. Now, if you move down to the antioxidant blends, awful lot of these antioxidant compounds down here, tart cherry being the first one you see across the board for all of them. And tart cherry has some interesting research that it might help reduce inflammation and reduce pain in some individuals. We've also got a blend of mushrooms from chaga and cordyceps, and reishi mushrooms and lion's mane mushroom powder. Again, mushroom is very interesting. Mushrooms actually have a compound in them called ergothioneine, which is touted in some circles to have anti-aging properties. There is some research on this. I actually did an interview with one of the leading ergothioneine researchers on the YouTube channel. Link to that video as well so you can check that out for yourself. Another thing I will point out, if we look at the other ingredients listed for LEvate Vitality Daily Greens, we do want to point out that all of the versions have stevia, so keep that in mind if that's something that you are concerned about. If you're not, then it's not a big deal, but all of them do have stevia. So another thing to point out to you is the cost of LEvate You Vitality Daily Greens. So you're looking at about $50 a bag if you just purchase one in a bag. They do have an auto ship program, so if you want to have them ship it to you on a regular basis, you can get it for a little bit less, maybe around 45 bucks. And so that's not too bad. But again, and they have different prices for the amount you purchase up front, whether it's 3 bags up front, 6 bags up front. I just did a little cost analysis as well. And so if you use the product regularly for 1 year as directed, you're looking at between $500 and $600 a year for the LEvate You Vitality Daily Greens drink. Now, it does come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, and so if you're not happy with it, you can always send it back. So overall pros and cons to the LEvate You Daily Greens, I would say. So it's easy to mix. They even include a shaker bottle to make it easier for you to get this into your diet, which is great. It's got a broad spectrum of nutrients. I mean, it's got over 30 nutrients, different compounds in this drink. So I think that's a good thing, and they do make it very easy to get a refund if you really want to. Again, downside. I'll ding all green drinks on this. They are expensive, so keep that in mind. None of them across the board, whether it be LEvate You or any of the other green drinks that I've seen over the years, tend to have a lot of fiber. I think that's a problem. Fiber is something that most Americans do not eat, and so I wish they would all add more fiber to their diet. And again, one last thing is LEvate You Vitality Daily Greens, to my knowledge, has not been taken into the lab, given to people for 3 months or 1 month or a couple weeks or whatever to see what it does. Does it lower your cholesterol? Does it lower your blood pressure? Does it give you more energy? Does it help you sleep better? We don't know this yet because it hasn't been tested, and that's unfortunate. So what I would say is, if you want to try LEvate You Vitality Daily Greens, you could do that. It's perfectly fine. I don't see anything really bad with the product at all. I would say that if you want to use this as a jumping off point to eating more fruits and veggies and beans and seeds, that's a good thing. However, do not make this green drink a substitute for eating better. You got to put food first, supplements second. That's why they call these things supplements. If you got any questions, leave them below. Until next time, take care out there.